Hello and welcome to Real Talkin' Fiction, the podcast where storytelling meets raw, unfiltered conversations. I'm Eddie Bowers, or Edward Bowers, as some of you guys might know me from my books. I'm here to explore the stories we tell, both real and imagined. From deep dives into some of life's tougher questions to thrilling fiction that I write. So hopefully that's going to keep you guys on edge. We're going to try and cover it all here. So sit back, hit that follow button, and let's dive in. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Talkin' Fiction. This is Eddie. I guess your host. But I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. He's kind of in the tech industry, and I'm not even sure how this particular topic really connects with the idea of this podcast, but I wanted to bring it out here and see if maybe some of y'all could give some insight or something like that. But today I just want to kind of dive into this topic that's, to me, fascinating and at some times maybe a little unnerving. But that would be AI, artificial intelligence, Skynet. It's going to take over the world. We've all seen Terminator, but it's a word that we hear often these days. I sometimes wonder if it's more of a buzzword, but it's no longer this futuristic concept, and it hasn't really been for a while. I'm not sure if other people view this the same way, but AI is really very much a part of our everyday lives, and there's lovers and haters of it. But while we're seeing its impact on the creative industry, it's also quietly shaping how we live our lives, work and play. So in today's episode, I want to try and explore how AI is already a part of our daily routines and how it's kind of transforming creative industries. So I'm going to also try to look at and talk about the ethical implications of AI, because let's face it, it's not just a tool of the future. It's something we're all interacting with right now, and we have been for quite some time. Again, I'm not sure if that's just the way I look at it, but so let's start by talking about how AI is already a part of our daily routine. Okay, so you might not think about it like that. You might not think about it at all. That's fine. But whether you're sending a text or picking a movie to watch, you're interacting with artificial intelligence or AI. For instance, when you send a text on your smartphone, autocorrect, it's powered by AI. It's a simple tool, but it learns from your habits and your language, the language you use to make corrections more accurate over time. This means that AI is quietly helping you communicate better, even if you're not, not in tune with that, even if you don't realize it, And then let's not forget voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. These tools process your voice commands. They analyze your requests and perform actions, from setting reminders to answering questions. You ask them a question and they instantly pull information from this humongous database to respond appropriately. And that, if you think about it, that's AI, artificial intelligence in action, real time, day-to-day life. Working behind the scenes to make your life easier. Then you've also got streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, heck, if you're listening to this podcast, Spotify. Maybe AI helped you find this podcast. I have no clue, you know. But it recommends content based on your viewing or your listening history. Ever notice how like Netflix seems to know exactly what you want to watch? That is literally because the platform uses machine learning algorithms that track your behavior and analyze data from millions of other users to suggest movies and shows you're likely to enjoy. And Spotify, it does the same thing with music. That personalized playlist, AI. I mean, if you're on TikTok, all those awesome cat videos, dog videos that just keep you laughing all night, they keep coming to you because of that algorithm. And we're not complaining about AI there. That makes our portions of our life, the entertainment side of it, a little more enjoyable because we can find more without putting any effort into it. We just swipe, 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 more cat videos, more dog videos, and again, maybe that's how you guys have, say, stumbled across my books or this podcast, my YouTube channel, my TikToks. I don't know how it is that you all came, about finding me, but I'll say this, like I kind of, hey, thanks AI, I appreciate it. So, but like even Google Maps and Waze use AI to improve your daily commute. These apps collect real-time data from millions of users to predict traffic patterns, suggest alternate routes. And I'm horrible with directions. If I didn't have, Google Maps or something, I'd probably just be doing left-hand turns and right-hand turns, going around in circles if there was too much traffic and I was trying to go someplace quicker. Again, these apps collect real-time data from millions of users to kind of predict the traffic patterns, suggest those alternate routes, and warn you or alert you to road closures. None of us can see into the future, but if somebody ahead of us sees something, they can put it into the system. Now all of a sudden, we know that 10 miles down the road, there's a cop. Slow down. Or there's an accident. Exit the highway. Make a right-hand turn, left-hand turn. It makes our lives a lot easier, with those functions in there. So, again, that's really all thanks to machine learning algorithms that continually adapt based on changing conditions. Now, what's interesting about these tools is that they're all AI powered. But most people don't recognize them as much. They really don't correlate that to AI. We just use them as part of our day-to-day routine, without thinking about the technology driving them. But this is just the beginning, in my opinion. I'm no genius. I don't program this stuff, but this is just the beginning. AI is really everywhere. And so let's kind of shift gears just a little bit. So AI is not just part of like our personal life. It's also making waves in, honestly, like the creative industries. Like where we get a lot of our entertainment. And I think that this is potentially one of the more outspoken issues some people have with AI. Again, I don't think that it's Skynet trying to shoot T whatever thousands into the past to come and get John Connor. But you've probably heard of AI in art, in music. But as an author, how about in writing? OpenAI's what is it, GPT models, for example, they're used to generate content, create stories, novels, or even write blog posts. You know, and these models can mimic like your human writing style. You know, you can type things up and it's gonna reformat it a little bit if you ask it to, and create something potentially more beautiful on the outside. But what about the soul behind it? The feelings, the personal emotions behind it. That's, I think, some of the complaints I've been seeing about artificial intelligence. So, but again, these models, they can mimic human writing styles. And they produce text that is sometimes kind of hard to distinguish from work created by you or me. And in Hollywood, I read somewhere, AI is now excuse me, is now being used to generate movie scripts. And just imagine that. Artificial intelligence writing your favorite movie script or screenplays. Tools are constantly being developed that help writers structure those stories, brainstorm ideas, and even generate that dialogue. So I think I'm trying to remember. Hold on. I read that roughly up to 10% of screenplays in Hollywood were AI assisted in 2024. And I want to say, I believe that was in Forbes magazine. AI is also helping with special effects, creating visual effects that blend seamlessly with like human work. And when it comes to casting, apparently like artificial intelligence can analyze an actor's previous performances and audience reactions to help make like more informed casting decisions. Man, I don't know. Do we want to continuously see a crummy actor in every single amazing film, or would we rather see somebody who's really good and draws us in? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. These are just questions that, since this conversation I had with a friend, started popping into my head. But like, here's something that may or may not surprise you. Okay? AI has already started, and I didn't know this, but generating art. I mean, yes, I knew that, you can have AI create, a picture of a man standing in a hallway or something like that, but like art. Tools like, I believe it's pronounced DALL-E, DALL-E. That tool apparently will allow anyone to create digital artwork, just by typing in like a simple text prompt. I've seen some apps where you can type in a text prompt and it creates music videos, and the characters in that video are almost cartoon-esque, and this has made art more accessible than ever. And I don't know if that's really necessarily a bad thing. I love art, and the more I can see and interact with, the better my life is, But as people, without that quote unquote formal training, going to college, getting a degree and things like that, they're now able to take the words in their head and produce like a stunning visual, with the click of a button. And they're able to express themselves like they haven't been able to before. For example, someone could type, I don't know, something like a futuristic city at sunset, right? And the AI will actually generate a detailed image based on that description. It's fast, it's efficient, opens up new possibilities for creators, or for someone who views themselves as uncreative, but they've got these words in their head that if they just got out could be turned into something amazing or beautiful, I think. But what happens when AI generated art starts to replace like the brushstrokes of a human, you know? Like starts replacing the Mona Lisa type artwork, things like that, you know? And I wonder, does that make it a little trickier? Is that where the things get tricky? You know, or is it still art to a degree? Is it still human influenced, like the Mona Lisa, or what is it? The ghostly looking dude on the bridge screaming, scream. Maybe I don't know. I'm not I'm not an art person to where I memorize the names of things, and I probably just sounded like a complete idiot there, not knowing the name of that particular picture or painting. But yeah, so obviously there's pros and cons, of people using artificial intelligence in creativity, you know. So I'm kind of at this point where it's like, so what's great about AI in the creative field? And then what's the downside? Like, I've been pondering, man, I have lost sleep over this question, and I don't even know why, you know. I kind of think, on the positive side, AI can be a major time saver. Think about musicians using AI to, I don't know, hopefully I get these phrases right. I'm not in the music industry, but like creating backtracks, or artists using AI to generate like rough sketches. AI can handle repetitive or technical tasks, allowing the creators to focus more on refining that work, and putting that human aspect, the flaws or whatnot in there, their heart and their soul. So, again, dived into some reading. Example, I believe it's called Amper Music, is one I ran across. It's an AI-powered platform that helps musicians create custom music tracks, even if they don't have advanced music production skills. It's like having, I believe it's marketed, and I'm not going to say quote, it's probably paraphrasing, but it's like having an entire orchestra right at your fingertips. And if you're broke and you love music and you're trying to create something, that's, you don't know anybody else who plays any instruments, having that ability allows you to get that, I think, get that creative block that you're building up out. And you can tweak it and make it sound the way you had imagined it, And again, I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or if it's a good thing. Is it just neutral? I don't know, But it just, again, it has. I'm probably talking about a topic that none of y'all care about. I don't know, Yeah, so my brain's running a mile a minute, but just look at how like I think another platform is called Deep Art, all one word. That one, if I'm saying it right, that one lets anyone transform their own like photos into works of art. And apparently, like, I could take a picture outside my window of the trees, and then I could go to that app and apparently, tell it to take my photo and rework the art in apparently the style of like a famous artist, like Van Gogh or Picasso or something like that. And I mean, that's kind of interesting to me, but I wouldn't sit there and sell it as a Van Gogh painting or a Picasso or anything like that. But just with a simple click of my camera and upload, and a few clicks on the platform or the app, you can generate a piece of art that would have taken hours, if not days or weeks, months, years. I think you guys get the picture there. To create it by hand, plus all the money for buying the brushes, the canvas, the paints, things like that. And I kind of wonder if maybe the downside is that I've heard it like this, and I'm not quoting anybody, it's just taking, little conversations and paraphrasing, but I wonder, does AI raise like serious concerns about like the authenticity, or like some sort of job displacement, or is it adding, is that authentic? You're the one telling the AI what to do, so it's this mixed feeling, and I believe I think it was Forbes. There was an article, I think it was in 2024, stating that like 30% or 36% of jobs in the arts were considered at risk of being replaced by AI or automation. Those jobs included everything, I think, from like graphic designers all the way down to musicians. So, if I remember, it was something to the effect of, the percentage was expected to grow as technology becomes more advanced. And my question is it Skynet? Are we going to start seeing T-1000s and little electrical balls popping up at dive bars coming to get John Connor? Or is it more the people who know how to use artificial intelligence? Are they going to be the ones, taking over our jobs? And instead of having a team of 12, it's going to be a team of 1. I probably just rambled there. But more importantly, I think, AI doesn't feel right. It doesn't have emotional depth, or lived experiences that human artists bring to their work. Sure, it can replicate styles, it can create beautiful pieces, but it doesn't have a soul or a personal story behind the creation. It's not influenced by a nightmare it had a year ago. Yeah, sorry, that was a little personal plug there. But no, like seriously, it doesn't have that soul, or, like I just said, personal story behind the creation. And I think that's something that many people value deeply in art, whether it's music, paintings, photography, even, or novels. Kind of circling back. Yes, I had a nightmare years ago, that recently, within the past year and a half, 2 years, influenced a couple of books I read. I took this nightmare that I was having repeatedly, night after night after night. I mean, it was messing with me. And I just started, I literally, one night I got so sick of it, I got up, I wrote it down in a journal. And then years later, I went back to it and I was like, yo, what if I built off of this? And I ended up creating a book that's coming out here on Amazon in the next couple of months, called Abaddon. And off of that and the nightmare, I created a book, a part 2 to Abaddon, and that one's coming out later this year, titled Nightmares and Dreams. So go follow me on Amazon on my author page, and you'll get notified when those come up. Shameless plug. But no, seriously, those personal things that I've gone through, or that other artists have gone through, breakups, loss of a loved one, abandonment. Whether we try to intentionally or unintentionally, that gets woven into our artwork, and we're hopeful that it comes out. So trying to, I guess, sound artsy. We're trying to let it out of our system, and hopefully people will connect with that thing, that element. And I don't know that AI can actually do that, because literally it's a computer. It has no soul. But is it ruining the industry? I don't know. You know, I don't know. But on that, let's kind of switch gears again. So, let's talk about ethics of AI. I'm going to try and bring this one a little personal to me, if you guys are okay with that. But I don't know. I'm not going to make it too much about me. But whether it's AI writing your favorite TV show, suggesting your next purchase, or creating that new piece of art that you want hanging in your living room on the wall, there are big questions about who controls AI and how it's used. We all got to be in control of something, it seems. Can't let things be. Plus, we don't want Skynet and the T-1000 coming back and blowing our city up. So, what happens, though, when AI is used for manipulation? Like creating deep fakes or spreading misinformation. And I don't know if AI can. I'm not a programmer. I don't know if it can go do that on its own, or if it would take a manipulative person behind the keyboard programming it to go do these things. But it's just questions. Again, I don't understand it fully. I know it's not sentient. I don't think it can become sentient. But I am not well versed in this stuff. So, but governments. Oh, we love our government control. Governments are starting to apparently take action. I was reading somewhere that, as an example, California passed regulations in 2023 that require AI generated content to be disclosed, especially in media like film or news. This is apparently, again, call it my being naive or lack of education in this area, but apparently that's viewed as a very important step in making sure that people, when they're consuming AI generated content, it's apparently like a thing. We've got to be told that 1 + 1 = 2 based off of this AI generated algorithm. We've got to be told that AI came up with that. So, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Kind of, honestly, a little indifferent. I'm trying to see both sides of the puzzle. But again, AI is everywhere, and it's not just the creative industries feeling its impact, positive or negative. It's in the apps you use, the websites you visit, and even the ads you see. So I think it's kind of just important to remember that while AI can be incredibly helpful, I guess it does need to be handled ethically. And I haven't been diving deep into that aspect of it quite yet. But it's not just a tool. So it's kind of assisting in changing the way we live, work, create, whether it's suggesting your next playlist, helping you write a novel. Heck, I use spell check, so I guess AI helps me with that. But please don't judge. Still go buy my books. It's just spell check. But even if it's generating the next blockbuster movie script, AI is reshaping the creative industry. And we'll go to some old school saying here. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, Uncle Ben. We need to think critically about how AI is used, who controls it, and what impact it has on our culture and society. I personally don't see anything wrong with using spell check, and that is literally artificial intelligence. I don't see anything wrong with Google searching where the closest gas station is. That is AI. But, per usual, that's just my opinion. And as usual, as always, I want to hear from you guys. What do y'all think about that? How do you feel about AI in the creative industry? Are you excited for the possibilities? Are you concerned that it's going to turn into Skynet and take us over? Are you kind of confused and a little indifferent on this right now? But let me know. Comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, put a comment in. Hit me up on social media. Wherever you can find me, I'm sure there's going to be a way to communicate with me. So please do that. Please do that. But thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this discussion, please don't forget to like it, subscribe, leave a review. If this bored you, if it helped you take a nap, let me know. If it bored you and you never want to hear another episode again, understandable. Yeah, don't hurt my feelings on that one. Heck, go use AI to find a nicer way of saying it. But like I said, remember, whether you realize it or not, AI is already a part of your life. So let's stay informed and keep exploring. So, keep those comments coming, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and let's start some sort of conversation up. All right. So until next time, take care, everyone. That kind of wraps up this episode of Real Talk and Fiction. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure to follow the podcast, please, so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, share it. Share it with a friend. It helps me more than you guys know. If you'd like to support the show and my writing, you can always join me on Patreon. For honest, I'm thinking, I believe as little as $1 a month. Your support's going to help me keep creating, and in return, you guys are going to receive exclusive updates, behind the scenes content, as well as early access to some new projects. So, check it out. Just head on over to Patreon, search Edward. Search Bowers Inc. B as in boy, Owersinc. And you should be able to find me there. Also, I think somewhere on this podcast, possibly on the YouTube channel, I've got the links shared there. And if you love a good thriller, don't forget to check out my books. They're available on Amazon. All right, just search Edward Bowers in the search bar, and it should pull up everything I've written and published. You can also find all the details at my website, which is edwardbowersofficial.com. It's kind of a basic website, but I'm working on it. Okay, bear with me. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. Just stay real. Keep turning the pages of your own story. And I'll see you guys next time, all right?